Hello, welcome to our next Wednesday Spotlight. My name is Amanda Bush, and I am the student and school coordinator for the Multisensory Reading Center. Today we have Angie Lunde, and she's going to be, she's been in education for over 27 years, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Okay, well, I am native Texan, bred, born, and raised, and still living in Texas. I graduated from Texas A&M University with a BS in psychology and also obtained my teaching certificate in secondary history and reading. And I have 27 years experience in public education, seventh grade text history, then middle school reading, and then the reading strategies teacher on my campus. And what reading strategies is the students who are either coming out of a more structured literacy program or who did not pass the state mandated test. It's an elective. They take reading strategies to help build up those skills. And what I found is my students were very frustrated, low self-esteem, and I had the tools to help them with manipulating text at the secondary level. But what I didn't have is those tools to help them at the foundational level, which is what they really needed. And so that's what led me to seeking answers to how to better meet their needs, and to looking at academic language therapy. At the same time, I have two boys, both were identified with dyslexia. My oldest one is textbook, identified, served, and on his way. My second one is complex. We just kind of picked up labels and acronyms as we went on. So those two combined, led me to seek more answers. And so that's how I sought training to become a certified academic language therapist.
Wow, I didn't know you had both boys that are
Yes.
dyslexic, so that's really some hands-on practice there.
Yes.
And what's your favorite thing about working with the students that you work with now?
I think the favorite thing, and like I said, especially when I taught a reading intervention class where they just knew they weren't, measuring up to the standard, is that they have a reason and a name for their struggles, which encourages them to persevere in those areas that are difficult for them. It also helps them to develop self-acceptance for those weaker areas, as well as become aware of strengths that are attributed to having dyslexia, that there are dyslexic advantages. And celebrating the successes, both small and large, academic and non-academic. And then I think the favorite part of it is, especially in those students that struggle, is that light bulb moment when you see it finally click and they get it.
Yes, I agree. I mean, that's why we all do what we do, is to be able to see that and see that growth. And I like what you talked about with the academic assets or non-academic assets and how we can really play on those strengths of our students. And with Multisensory Reading Center, we work with a majority of our students in the online setting via webcam. So what can you tell us about how you're able to build connections with students, or your experience when you're working with students online?
Okay, well, I experienced COVID as a dyslexia therapist in the public school system. And so that's when I first encountered virtual learning, you know, myself. And so I've worked with online groups of students developing strategies and tools and methods on how to deliver the program or programs, because I use several programs, with fidelity. It allows me to utilize those tools to reach students virtually for whom face-to-face is a challenge, whether it's COVID or not being able, not having somebody in their area or at their school. And through a group setting, which is a little different than one-on-one, through the camera, you tend to develop a one-on-one when they see you and you see them. It also being part of a group, especially my kiddos that struggle, including my own child who struggled, it allows them to have some kind of brain relief where it's not you, then them, then you, then them. That is
Mhm.
one-on-one is fabulous. It can also be kind of tiring. And
Mm,
so when there's a group, they can take turns and each take a break. And they can also see how other students respond. So there's modeling, especially for those who really struggle. And putting them on the spot sometimes is really uncomfortable. It helps them to build that confidence to take risks.
great. And wrapping things up, can you tell us a little bit something that might be unique about you?
Well, I mentioned that I have traveled the dyslexia journey both as a professional, as a language therapist, and as a mom. And I think that that allows me to walk the talk. Not only am I telling parents, um, giving advice as a professional, I'm also giving that advice because I've been there as a mom, um, to live out the life with dyslexic, children that have dyslexia, and to walk alongside them and just to give them the tools. They're both adults. And so we've continued to walk into the workplace, how to let our employers know our disabilities and to find accommodations so they can be successful at their jobs. And then just kind of a fun fact is I'm a fourth generation Italian American on my paternal side. And my maiden name I discovered in fourth grade is a palindrome. It's Renner, Rener, and you can spell it
Ah.
both forward and backwards. Now, this was during indoor rainy recess, and we were all writing our names backwards and we're going to use them the rest of the day. So at the time, it was kind of disappointing because my name was the same, but now it's really cool. And it's something I share with students. It's just a fun tidbit and it teaches them, you know, one more vocabulary word.
That's right. Hey, that's a really cool fun fact. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Oh, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's it.
Thank you for sharing. And if you are looking for an academic language therapist like Angie, who has that firsthand experience and loads of other in classroom and out of classroom experience, feel free to set up a free consultation and give us a call. And we look forward to speaking with you.